Pictures of L. Victoria Gowri, who's just taken oath as the judge of the Madras High Court, even as the controversy is on this entire matter on whether she is fit to be a judge of a High Court or not. Remember, this matter was pending before the Supreme Court of India. An unprecedented developments from today saw Victoria Gowri take oath as a High Court judge, even as his plea was being heard in the Supreme Court of India on whether she is fit to be a judge or not, given the kind of comments she has made in the past against a particular religion. That is, hate speech is what the contention was.
Not the least heed to them, moved by these words of concern towards our motherland. I am conscious and fully aware that today I am handed over with the greatest responsibility of being a judge, only to heed to the unheard and oppressed voices of the poorest of the poor, to liberate the marginalized, settle down the abominable inequalities of the society, and to nurture fraternity in this beautiful, serene, diverse land named India. Today, from this most prestigious dais, with all humility, I undertake to dispense justice in realizing the dreams of the makers of our Constitution. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Blessings. To conclude, I seek the words
Okay, the matter has in fact was being heard in the Supreme Court and the petition has been dismissed. Lawyer Victoria Gowri has been sworn in as judge at the Madras High Court. Remember, the elevation was mired in the controversy after reports of alleged affiliation to the BJP. Also, the contention in the court really was, the plea was the fact that she had made a hate speech not once but on quite a few occasions. However, the matter has been dismissed in court and the petitions demanding restraining lawyer L. Victoria Gowri from taking oath as a judge at the Madras High Court. She has taken oath today. In unprecedented developments today, the oath-taking ceremony actually took place when the matter was being heard in the Supreme Court of India.
I undertake to dispense justice in realizing the dreams of the makers of our Constitution. Blessings. To conclude, I seek the words of Swami Vivekananda, who once remarked, "The one thing that is the root of all evils in India is the condition of the poor." So long as the millions live in hunger and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor who, having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. Moved by these words of concern towards our motherland, I am conscious and fully aware that today I am handed over with the greatest responsibility of being a judge, only to heed to the unheard and oppressed voices of the poorest of the poor, to liberate the marginalized, settle down the abominable inequalities of the society, and to nurture fraternity in this beautiful, serene, diverse land named India. Today, from this most prestigious dais, with all humility, I undertake to dispense justice in realizing the dreams of the makers of our Constitution. Thank you.
Anisha Mathur is getting us all of those details. The petitions have been dismissed by the court. But to begin with, Anisha, tell our viewers that this had got nothing to do with the fact that she had a definite political affiliation, that she was a member of the BJP, but the fact that she had made hate speeches in the past. And that really was the contention, isn't it?
Well, yes, Neha, what has been a very interesting and very unprecedented day in the Supreme Court. Since yesterday, in fact, these petitions had come up. The Chief Justice yesterday agreed to hear them, to list them today. In the morning, we had a lot of chaos in the court regarding who exactly will be hearing the matter. Initially, it was supposed to be before Justice Khanna and Justice Sundresh, but Justice Sundresh, being from the Madras High Court, recused from hearing the matter. Finally, it was heard before the bench of Justices B.R. Gowri and Justice Sanjeev Khanna. What is interesting is that from the outset, Justice Gowri in fact pointed out that there has been a history of judges in the Supreme Court and in the High Courts who have had political affiliations prior to their elevation. In fact, he gave himself as an example, as he also was a member of a political party before he was elevated. However, we need to remember that these petitions had not raised the issue of her political affiliation, but had questioned the eligibility to take take oath on the Constitution of India on grounds that the articles that had been written by L.C. Victoria Gowri as a lawyer in 2018 indicated a certain level of hate speech, indicated a mindset that she may not be free and fair, may or not be able to act in a manner that is non-discriminatory against any group or religious affiliation. That is the argument that was raised by senior advocates Raju Ramachandran and Anand Grover before the court. However, the court has very clearly not accepted these arguments. The bench, in fact, said that all of these issues would have been considered by the Collegium in the Madras High Court and in the Supreme Court, that it cannot be speculated at this stage that the Collegium did not have this information before them, that no one had raised this issue before them. What is also interesting is that the Bar Council of India Chairman Manan Mishra was present in the court and in fact told the court that no complaint regarding professional misconduct had ever been filed against L.C. Victoria Gowri. And what is also very interesting to note is that while this argument was ongoing in the Supreme Court of India, L.C. Victoria Gowri took oath as Justice L.C. Victoria Gowri of the Madras High Court. However, what also needs to be pointed out is that the court itself has noted that since she has only taken oath as an additional judge, when it is time to make her a permanent judge of the High Court, her conduct as a member of the bench will be scrutinized. All these issues could again be taken up at that stage. But for now, the court has very clearly said that these issues of hate speech, of articles written prior, cannot be raised at this stage. And more importantly, on the judicial side, the court cannot consider whether or not the Collegium had XYZ information before it. It is to be assumed that all relevant information was in fact placed before the Collegium. So this case has raised several very interesting and key questions regarding the functioning and the process involved in the Collegium system in the Supreme Court. First of course, being what kind of information is actually brought before the Collegium, especially since the Chief Justice yesterday in open court had observed that some information had been placed before the Collegium after the recommendation had been sent. But for now, Justice Victoria Gowri is in the Madras High Court. Back to you.
Right, Anisha, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us out of those details.